Welcome to the Bella Vista Gardening Program. I'm Geri Hoerner, and joining me today is Brenda Anderson.
Hi.
And she is the president of the Benton County Master Gardeners. And today we're going to be talking about new plants for I'm a decade late, 2023. So, and we wanted to see if maybe you can incorporate some of these into your garden this year. So we'll be covering upcoming events and what to do in your gardens for March. So it's a serious gardening month. We start in March. So, but first I want to thank our sponsors, the Benton County Master Gardeners and the Bella Vista Garden Club. And they have just been wonderful sponsors. They became the director level at the TV station membership. And we really appreciate their support. So we couldn't do this show without them. So. But their upcoming events, the Compton Native Tree, Compton
Tree
Gardens Native Tree Plant Sale will be on March 27th through the 31st. Now that's pretty early this year. So I'm hoping they're going to be ready because we've had a terrible winter and I'm not sure how that's going to go. And then they're having their hanging basket sale at Compton Gardens May 11th through the 13th. So, but you can go to their website. It's peelcompton.org,
right,
and you'll get all the information there. The Bella Vista plant sale is going to be April 22nd for one day only, coleus, zinnias, and tomatoes. So they're growing them in the greenhouse now. And June 2nd and 3rd for perennials and trees and shrubs. So the website has that all, bellavistagardenclub.com. And the Benton County Master Gardeners will have their plant sale and expo.
Right.
And that's going to be May 19th and 20th.
Yes, it is.
But you mark your calendars. We'll have more details,
Right.
you know, as it comes closer. So, but now we want to discuss the new plants for 2023. These larger producers, they introduce new varieties every year. I don't know how they...
I don't either.
How they manage
It's
it.
very exciting, though.
But it takes a long time to bring them to market because they have to have them tested. There are trials that are done by arborists, arborariums, horticulturalists, and even master gardeners do some testing.
You might not know, just this last week, we signed it to do an Arkansas Diamonds trial. Don't know when we're going to start. We're waiting for our packages to come in the mail, but we're going to be testing 4 different annuals.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what company it's with, but we're excited about it. We're going to be testing at Helping Hands.
Oh,
and then several other people did bought some packages to do at home.
Well, many years ago, kind of dating myself, many years ago, when I was at a state master gardener meeting, they give out plants at the end of the meeting, and you have a little questionnaire. You grow these plants, and then you fill out the questionnaire how they did. Well, they gave us a king coleus before we ever saw these huge coleus on the market.
Right.
And we put them in our gardens, and we were like, wow, these are fantastic. So it's master gardeners have been involved in that too.
Right.
And it's just amazing how long of a time span they're planning these future plants. Plus, they have to make hundreds of thousands of them to go to market around the country.
Right. Well,
there's
growers.
Every nursery.
There's growers everywhere that help supply the needs for these trials and for the public to buy when they're introduced.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, and some of them maybe you may not be able to find locally that we're talking about. It just depends what the nurseries have ordered and how, if they run out or, and you can even buy them on their website sometimes, the big producers like Proven Winners. But sometimes they run out too.
Right.
They're out of stock. But there are quite a few new varieties that they're introducing this year. And these are mainly from Proven Winners. It's one of the largest plant producers and innovators, I think. So, and we're not suggesting that's the only plant you buy, but they're one of the leading companies. So, and we do have some photos of some of these new introductions, And the first one we have was called Double Play Candy Corn Spirea. And this is also the year of the spirea, which I didn't know. And it's the National Garden Bureau has named this the year of the spirea. Now, I don't know too much about the National Garden Bureau.
I don't either.
But we have a link on the Bella Vista Garden Club website,
Okay.
and it's full of information.
Okay.
It's just tons of information about gardening. But anyway, this spirea is going to be about 24 inches tall and 30 inches wide. So it's a fairly good size spirea.
It is nice size.
And the leaves are orange, red, and yellow, but mainly like chartreuse.
Okay.
And the blooms are like a purple red. So it's a beautiful combination.
Very striking, yeah.
It's going to get your attention in your garden. Then the next one we have, this is, again, this is the candy corn spirea. And it's in a planter apparently with coral bells. So you can plant these, you know.
Right. That's a nice perennial
combinations.
planter. Yeah, those coral bells, I think one was a Primo Wild Rose, and the other one was called Dolce Spearmint Coral Bells.
So
Sounds
always
delicious.
Good combinations, yeah. The next one we have is a smaller one. It's called Limelight Prime.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
pretty.
this gets about 6 foot by 5 foot. There's been the Limelight out for a while. This Limelight Prime is going to bloom earlier in the season and last
good.
longer.
That's
So it's just a new variety of limelight. So, and it has, it blooms on new wood. So you're not going to lose these blooms when you have a late frost.
Right.
So this is a good hydrangea for
It
our
is,
area because
yeah.
we get those late frosts. Then we have the next one is called Tiny Quickfire, and it's a little dwarf, and it only reaches like 3 foot by 3 foot.
It's very cute.
And it blooms on new wood also, so that's something you can tuck anywhere in your garden because it's small. So, and then we have the an annual, the Heart to Heart Scarlet Flame Caladium, and this is shown with the Surefire Cherry Cordial Begonia combination. So
That's
you can
nice.
see
yeah.
they really are beautiful
Complement
together.
each other.
They do. And you know, I think Proven Winners does a lot of pots, pre-planted pots that they sell, so combinations.
They make it easy for us.
Yes, they try to.
They just
do
want your
try.
money, and
Yeah,
there you go.
they'll plant them for you, and you just put them in your garden. So, and then the next one we have is the Surefire Cherry Cordial Begonia with Super Bell's Grape Punch, Calabrocha, and Supertunia Mini Vista White. It's on the little side there. This begonia has chocolate leaves and red flowers. Now this begonia is going to really be popular, I think.
I think so too.
But you can see the combinations there are great. And that there's a lot of those Super Bells, you know, they're coming out with a lot of varieties.
Right.
And there are many new annuals. There's a lot of new annuals being produced. You can't even keep track of them all.
No.
You know? But we just have a few to show you. One is the Laguna Compact Blue with Eye, lobelia. Now lobelias are beautiful, beautiful plants. A lot of blooms all year long. So, and then we have Supertunia Mini Vista Yellow Petunia. So this Mini Vista series, there's just so many colors that you can get with these little mini vistas. And they just kind of light up a planting, a pot, or in your garden. And then this is the Supertunia Mini Vista Scarlet. So that's going to really stand out in your
Right,
garden
they will.
too.
They're just gorgeous colors.
Yeah, they are. And I think these are self-cleaning. You don't have to deadhead them.
good.
These little minis, yeah. Then we also have the Supertunia Persimmon petunia. And that's kind of a two-tone, I think.
Right.
So,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
it's like a yellow and pink, and that's going to be awesome. Maybe with a little yellow petunia with it.
Right.
bring out the yellow.
Right.
And then that begonia with the dark leaves would be
Right.
perfect with this.
I'm sorry, but I have to say, I think that's just calling the deer to the garden
You think?
for a tasty meal. But
Oh, well, they don't usually bother my petunias too much.
okay.
Do they bother yours?
Yeah, but anyway, I think I would be drawn to that color
Yeah,
or
would
those
too.
colors.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
Oh. And then we also have a Bright Lights Horizon Sunset African Daisy. So this is a little different in the African Daisy group.
That's pretty.
That's new. So they're just great little annuals. You can plant in the ground or you can plant them in pots. And then every year, Pantone, the company
Right,
Pantone,
right.
announces the color of the year.
Ooh,
Now designers use this color, and this color now is magenta this year.
wow.
And paint companies come up with a different version of what they call the color of the year, and it could be in the hot pink, I guess, hot pink jacket here, or it could be into the deep wine,
Okay.
But the paint companies come up with their own rendition of the color. And a lot of the designers, will follow the Pantone,
Right.
and they'll use that color as their accents. So the one we just saw was the a romance mulberry nemesia. So it's really a pretty color, and it's going to be in the plant-powered packaging, which we're going to talk about a little
okay.
later.
Okay.
So then the next one we have is the bold hot pink geranium. Now I love geraniums, and I
do
use
too.
hot pink geraniums for years on my deck. I love it. And this is a new one, and it's really,
It looks
really
very
hot pink.
velvety.
It does. It really is nice. But it's also in that plant-powered packaging.
Okay.
And then we have, next is a group that they provide. They call this their New Orleans recipe. It's the Supertunia Royal Plum Wine Verbena, Supertunia Bordeaux Petunia, and Supertunia Minute Vista Yellow Petunia. So this verbena has been raved about by so many people. There's a columnist in the paper, local paper, that has talked about this, and he's just raving about this verbena. He's trialed it, and he just thinks it's fantastic. He lives a little farther south. His name is Norman Winter.
Okay.
It's kind of appropriate.
Yeah.
And he's also known as the garden guy.
Okay.
But he's been raving about this verbena. And I think in his garden, he's a little further south than us. It may be a perennial that comes back.
Oh, that
But
would be nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Because they just bloom all year. They'll just bloom
Yeah.
until it's really
Nice
hard
carpet of
frost.
color.
Yeah, good cause. And that's, like I said, a pot you can buy, and it's already pre-planted with these varieties. And
Yeah. Well,
all
that
you have to do is
New Orleans
water.
mix looked like it was Mardi Gras
Yeah,
colors.
yeah.
So it was
And all you
brilliant.
have to do is fertilize and water, You
Can't beat that.
don't have to plant them.
Everybody can be a gardener then.
The last one we have is this Supertunia Vista Paradise.
That's pretty.
And if it's got Vista in the name, I need to buy it, because we live in Bella Vista. So anyway,
Okay.
this is another one in that plant-powered packaging that they're coming up with. And so Proven Winners is one of the leaders of the industry, and they've invested in single-use plastics that they are avoiding totally. So they're white pots. They're using a container that will degrade in your garden, and you just plant the whole thing. So the
Okay.
packaging is made from starchy renewable plants like corn
Okay.
and switchgrass and sugar beets. So you don't have to take it out of the pot. You can just put the pot right in the ground. Now, I think what I might do is slit the pot in a
Yeah.
couple places to make it easier for those roots to escape. But still, you don't have to deal with those black plastic
Right.
pots or white plastic
Right.
pots to go into the landfill. So they call them the Eco Grande if it's a perennial, a larger perennial, but the annuals they're called plant-powered packaging.
Okay.
So I think there probably is something on that pot to indicate
That will let you
it's,
know.
yeah. So that's really innovative.
It
you know,
is.
for the industry. You can imagine how many pots are thrown away, and of course we recycle them with our plant sales, and we ask our people that buy our plants to return the pots.
Yes.
So we can use them again and again.
We do
and
too.
again. So it's nice if they do that, and
That stuff is not cheap.
no, but the proven winners, like I said, they are innovative in many ways, and
Making it more
they're looking at 10 years out
Right.
what they're going to be doing 10 years from now. They're so forward looking.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
great,
great.
to have them. And then Monrovia is another big producer, and they're another leader in the industry. They've got some wonderful
They do.
new additions too. And you can just go to their website and you'll find all kinds of new varieties. And they have, I think, called it 10 distinctive selections
Okay.
for 2023. And those might be interesting to look at too. So anyway, but you're talking about that trial, the trial we have going on at the Helping Hands Garden is also the fig trial.
Right.
That's kind of our own little trial.
Right.
It's not related to
No, we're not associated with any company or university. We're just trying to find the best figs for our area that are cold hardy and produce a good tasting fig. So we had really good results this last summer. The new fig bushes, trees, shrubs, whatever, they just outgrew themselves and did a really good job producing. And the last batch that we harvested, I took home and made fig jelly out of.
Oh,
So I know how to keep a few people on my board happy with fig jelly now.
you're bribing them with figs.
Yes, you got to find those tricks.
Yeah.
But
But
it's
going to be interesting to see with this terrible winter we've had,
Yeah.
the cold spell and then warm, and
Right.
it's just been devastating
It
to our
has been,
plants.
yeah.
And I'm just wondering how those figs are going to do.
well, they don't look really good now, but I think with some warm weather coming up in the next 4 to 6 weeks, they're going to start sprouting from the bottom, and then we'll be able to take those dead canes out.
Yeah. They'll probably die back.
Yeah, they do.
Almost all of them will.
Yeah.
Sometimes a fig will, survive the winter pretty well if we have one of our mild winters,
Yeah.
but this past one is just
No, and
been
we didn't do
devastating.
any
Protection.
protection for them, in trials that I've been involved in back in Texas. We didn't do any extra
Yeah, you just have
protection.
to take
It's,
see how they do in the
yep,
weather.
survival of the fittest
Yeah,
type
that's
thing.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we took a lot of data. We still take a lot of data. It's planned to be a 10-year trial. And we're collecting that and making our Excel sheets and taking pictures and measuring. And
Yeah.
we do tasting. We have a little sheet that we have criteria that we look at the fig and we taste the fig. And it's been very interesting.
It is
and fun.
interesting. And like I said, these big producers, they're talking about 10 years out. Who knows what they're coming up with
Oh, I
in
know.
10 years,
Yeah.
So, but it's an interesting
It's fun.
subject. So.
Yeah.
And then also I didn't talk about the fact that you are on the County
Oh,
County
yeah.
76
County 76
on the board.
on the board.
Now that group is a master gardener.
Right. It's a group that helps the local county groups with their organization. Tips and tricks and retaining people, drawing people in. It's just a very helpful organization, and we have conferences, and we help at the state conference coming up in June.
Yeah, we have a state conference in June in Russellville.
Right, in Russellville.
2 or 3 day, like a 3-day
So we do a
event.
lot of planning. It's a lot of Zoom calls and a lot of, for me, driving down to Little Rock to attend the general meetings. And it's very educational. There's so many people in that group that I wish I lived closer to them just to learn from them. So,
And just to
yeah.
see their gardens. And,
Yes.
So, but the Master Gardeners is just a great program,
It is.
statewide and nationwide, and actually internationally. They have international meetings
they
too.
do. In
And
fact, there's an international conference coming up in
Kansas City?
It's in Kansas City.
Kansas City.
And it's in, what, June or July? I forget. Anyway, they've been promoting that for over a year now. And with some awesome tours and field trips and speakers. Lots of awesome speakers. So anybody that lives in this area, it's close enough to drive to. You probably have friends that live there and you can stay with them.
And I think after the initial registration, if there's any spaces left, I don't think you have to be a master gardener to
Right.
sign up.
That's probably
But
true.
you're just interested in gardening.
Yeah.
But I think at first they open it up to master gardeners, and then
Right.
then guests.
Same thing with our state convention. We do that too.
Yeah,
And it just opened up. But yeah, exciting times.
it is. I'm telling you, there's changes going everywhere.
Yeah, there is.
Got to keep up with the times.
I know.
So,
It's hard.
but the thing is, with our weather that we've had, we're just going to have to wait an extra, like, month or 6 weeks
At least
before
6
we
weeks.
decide
Yeah.
which plants in our garden are dead and which ones, you know, just need some TLC and trimming.
Right.
Because most of the plants in the garden right now, they just look dead.
Yeah, I have
They
a lot
really
of stuff
do.
that is coming up, my perennials. They're beginning to pop, but I don't do too many annuals. And, you know, we've been talking about annuals earlier. You know, you might see them, but
Oh, yeah.
the big box stores get that stuff in so much earlier than we can actually plant it out. And it's not up to them what comes in at that time. It's their distributors that are
Right.
sending stuff out. So,
But
you
they
know,
want you to plant it and then it dies and you
Yeah,
replant it
yes.
so they can sell
so,
twice
yeah,
as
that's
much.
the name of their game. So, yeah.
So, but don't even think about planting anything,
No.
any annuals till,
No.
you know.
But the stuff that
May.
we talked about this morning, if you, like us, if you get those massive amounts of catalogs, seed catalogs and plant catalogs, you might want to order it, and sometimes they will delay
Right.
the shipping to accommodate your planting zone. So, and also, we might not get something down here. The only way we might get it is through ordering
Right.
online or through the catalog. So,
You know, it,
You
and
have
it depends what the nurseries order, so the nurseries have
You've
to
got
order
to
the
learn
plants
those little
too.
tips and tricks to
Yeah.
get what you want
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta know the sources.
Yep.
So, but again, you know, for the spring coming up, March is a big month to start working in the garden, get your leaves out, and you know, but just have to wait a
Right.
little while
Right, you
longer this
do.
year.
You do.
It's going to be an unusual spring. So, but anyway,
So,
you've got packets of seeds to plant.
yes, would you like some?
I have a multitude.
I know,
also.
I know. I think there's in our area people put on seed swaps, so that's a good place to go and get seeds. You know, if you don't want to start over from scratch. But
Yeah.
yeah, sort through those old seed packets that you might have, or you know, you ask your buddies
Yeah.
and swap seeds.
Well, sometimes a packet has more seeds than you can use.
Right.
You know.
Right. And usually those seeds are good for at least 2 to 3 years, but don't plant them too early.
Yeah.
You can start them indoors if
Right.
you've got a light source or a heating mat, but then you're still going to have to wait for the transplant time to make sure it's the right time to put those little babies outside. So,
Because it's going to be, what,
yeah.
probably
Yeah.
mid-May.
Yeah, a lot of stuff I don't really put out until middle of May or end of May, depending on what it is.
Yeah. So, but you do need to clean out your beds,
Right.
and I've still got a lot of leaves in my bed. I just put the leaves in my beds, you know, for the
I
winter.
do too.
But you have to get them out because, like, once those hostas start coming up, if they don't have light, they'll be real yellow.
Right.
You know, so you
Right.
have to
And
get,
also moving that mulch, those dead leaves out, allows the soil to warm up faster too.
yes, it does.
So
yeah,
that's
yeah. So
why
this
we do
March is
that.
the time to get those leaves out of the bed. So,
So if you're planting bulbs like gladiolas, start planting those at 2-week intervals. That way you get a longer season of blooms.
yeah, they don't just all bloom at one time.
No, you
so-
don't want that.
Yeah.
That way your neighbors will go, ooh, what is she doing? So you need to fertilize those tulips and daffodils with some bone meal.
Yeah, they're starting to come up now, the daffodils. The tete-a-tetes are blooming
Right.
right now, first part of March. And then the Bella Vista daffodils, which we show here,
Right.
those will be, they're starting to come up. I haven't seen any buds on them
Okay.
yet, but they may be a little delayed.
Okay, so
But those you'll see all over Bella Vista.
you will. I'd like to get some.
Yeah, we didn't order any this year, but
Okay.
we're going to be starting to separate,
Okay.
I think, probably in the
I
fall.
need to find some.
Yeah.
But when these beautiful bulb plants lose their bloom, don't go and cut the foliage off just
cut the
right
bloom
away.
off,
Just cut that bloom off because the bulb is still developing for next year already, getting nutrients from those
Yeah,
leaves
that's
that
what
are
feeds,
there.
that's what feeds the new flower.
Yeah.
So, gotta leave it on for at least 6 or 8 weeks. I just leave them on until they turn
Yeah,
brown.
yeah.
I take them off. So, and then you put a little bone meal on them
Yep.
when they're
I do. Bone
emerging.
meal.
Yeah. Okay, and house plants. We've brought our house plants in, and hopefully they've made it through the winter. But you don't want to take those out till it's at least 50 degrees
Right.
at night constantly,
Right.
because
Yeah.
that's the key.
Yeah, because
You
you
put
just
them out
never
too
know.
soon, and they
Yeah.
just don't like it.
Right.
So. And then,
So, lawns. I don't have a lawn. I have rock.
oh, do you?
I do. I have lots of it. Would you like some?
I've got enough rock.
Okay.
I have lawn too.
Okay.
In
So, are
fact-
you putting out a pre-emergent to
Yeah,
get
the
those?
pre-emergent goes out before March 15th.
Good.
So that and I have seen some weeds already.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Too many weeds.
Too many weeds. That's my problem.
Yeah.
But I have what you'd call a test lawn. I have Bermuda, and I have a little zoysia left in the Bermuda that the Bermuda didn't take over, and then I have some fescue. So I
Oh,
have
good for
different
you.
types of grass. So, and you have to treat them a little differently,
Yeah.
but basically, feed and water.
Yeah.
So, and then
Perennials? I bet you have a bunch of perennials.
I do, but I'm not dividing them yet. I know a
Yeah.
lot of people start in March, and it takes me a month just to clean up the leaves and get
Yeah.
it ready to
Yeah.
go. So usually end of March I'm dividing.
Yeah, I just don't have, I haven't been here long enough for my plants to be ready to start dividing.
Yeah, my garden's like 28 years old, so it's a lot of plants. And they do grow and have to be thinned out, yeah. And then your roses, you need to prune your roses. I wouldn't prune them yet. We still could get some really cold weather.
Yes.
But you just want to prune them when you're sure that new growth coming out is not going to get frozen.
Right.
And you just prune them to about 12 inches. And then your climbers, you don't prune your climbers till after they bloom,
Okay.
because they'll bloom their big
Right.
flush. Then you can control your
Okay. I didn't know about that.
your climbers.
I bought 2 climbers last year, so they're doing great. So, vegetables.
Yeah,
I mean, there's some people that have been growing all winter,
I know.
and that's something I need to learn more
Like
about.
a
is
cold frame or something?
Cold frame,
Yeah.
or there's all this fabric covers that will protect from wind and frost.
Yeah.
But something that can be planted now would be cabbage, kale, lettuce, peas,
Peas.
rutabagas, spinach, and turnips. Onion sets are out there in the stores now. Some people have already started planting, but
It's too early.
I would wait, but who knows. Your peppers and tomatoes seeds, you could start indoors under light and a heat mat, but they're not going to be able to be set outside for another probably 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah, yeah,
So, but, oh yeah, you definitely can get them started now.
yeah, inside, yeah.
And there's so many varieties.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
So the trees and shrubs just monitor the water, and then you have to trim your crepe myrtles, probably mid-March, I would think.
Yeah.
And just see what they
Right.
look like.
Don't do crepe murders, though.
No crepe myrtles. Just trim the smaller
Yeah.
little stems. So, but while you're looking up, looking online for garden information, you can find the Master Gardener is bentoncountygardening.org.
Right?
And the Master Gardeners meet the first Tuesday of the month
Right.
at 6 o'clock at night in Bentonville. And so it's all on their website. all
It
the
is.
information,
Or on
so-
Facebook.
Yeah, and Facebook. And then the Bella Vista Garden Club meeting is going to be on March 22nd, and it's the fourth Wednesday of the month. So that's when the next meeting is coming up, and all their information's on bellavistagardenclub.com.
Right.
So, but thank you today for joining me. Brenda, I just love it when you come and share all your good
Well,
information.
I enjoy coming. It's just down the road and it's fun.
It is fun. So I hope you've enjoyed the program, and will join us next month. And until then, don't forget to stop and smell the roses.